Some games stay with you forever. They are more than just games. They're experiences, the kind that leave an impression long after you stop playing. Capoeira Fighter 3? This was one of those games. If you played it back in the day, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It wasn't just fun, it was something special. This was the kind of game that you didn't just play, you felt it. The movement, the flow, the way every fight had this energy to it. It was more than just pressing buttons. It was like a dance, a rhythm, a battle of skill and speed. And once you got into it, you were hooked. Remembering the feel of the combat, even now looking back, I can still remember how this game felt. The way the fighters moved, the way the attacks connected. Every match was so smooth, so fast, so satisfying. There was this fluidity to it, like everything was meant to be. Every kick, every dodge, every counter, it all flowed together so perfectly. This wasn't just another fighting game. It had its own identity, its own rhythm, its own unique feel. And that's what made it unforgettable. No other game felt quite like it. Every fight was an adrenaline rush, whether you were playing casually or really trying to master the mechanics. The pure magic of playing it is that it's crazy to think how much time I've spent playing this. The hours just disappeared. It was one of those games where you tell yourself, just one more match, and before you knew it, the whole afternoon was gone, and you didn't care because every fight was just so good. There was something about this way the game played that made it impossible to put down. The movement was so fast, the attacks were so crisp, and every time you landed a perfect combo, it felt like magic. Even when you lost, you couldn't help but think, alright, let's go again. So why it stood out looking back at its impact? What made Capoeira Fighter 3 so special wasn't just the gameplay, it was the whole package. The style, the speed, the sheer energy of it. It had this electric feeling to it that made every fight feel intense. Some games are just fun, but this one had a soul. And the animations, absolutely beautiful. The way the fighters moved, the way the attacks flowed. It was like watching a martial arts performance unfold in real time. There was this elegance, the smoothness that made every fight feel like it was meant to happen exactly like it did. The nostalgic vibes, why it deserves to be remembered. Looking back, I realized just how rare a game like this was. If it wasn't trying to be anything else, it wasn't following trends or copying what was popular. It was doing its own thing, and that's why it stood out. It had a heart, it had a style, and it had a feeling that you just don't find in most fighting games. This wasn't just about winning or losing, it was about the experience, the flow of battle, the rhythm of movement, and the pure satisfaction of perfectly timed attack. Even if you weren't the best player, even if you were just mashing buttons, you could still feel how special this game was. A game that deserves more love. It's a shame that more people don't talk about this game because it deserves to be remembered. It deserves to be celebrated. Some games are just games, but this was an art form. This was the kind of fighting game that had something different, something unique, something that sticks with you. If you played this back in the day, you already know what I mean. You know that feeling, that rush, that pure love for the game that made you keep coming back for just one more match. This was more than just another fighter, it was something special. And now years later, I still look back and appreciate just how amazing this game was. It wasn't just fun, it was a masterpiece in its own right. A game that did something different, something that still stands out even today. So tell me, did you play Capoeira Fighter 3? Do you remember how incredible it felt? Drop a comment if you want. And looking back in this classic game, I will never forget how fun it was. So I just wanted to praise it. Thank you guys for watching if somebody watched this video. And see you next time. Bye bye.